What is happening? It's Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and today I want to speak about the idea of self-help becoming shelf-help at times. We read so much, we consume so much information, but are we putting that information into practice? Specifically, with the idea of beginning with self-love, then starting an inner child healing journey or a shadow work journey or whatever you're doing for your own healing, you want to understand that a lot of this stuff comes down to you owning your stuff. Okay, taking ownership, taking responsibility. Responsibility meaning the ability to respond. Okay, so when you can say, like, okay, I have this thing that I'm working on, I have this flaw, I have this issue, but now I'm working towards solving it. And how are you working towards solving it? Maybe you're getting into contact with other people who have solved it in the past. Maybe you're looking at it in a different way. Maybe you're re-understanding and reanalyzing your relationships and the relationships that you've created and that you are in, to truly see, like, is this resonating with me? Is this aligning with my values and the way that I see the world, or my frame of the world? Okay? And there's nothing wrong with getting knocked down on this path of personal growth or development. You just have to reflect when you get knocked down and ask yourself, why is it that I'm getting knocked down? Right? And that's a preventative measure too. If you can ask yourself from before for little minor incidences that come up. Okay? So the thing is, you want to make sure that the books you're reading, the videos you're watching, are people who really walk their talk, but also you want to emulate them, you want to be like them in some way. Okay? You see potential there, you see that there is an option there for you to actually lean in and learn from this person. Whereas, I'm reading a book. I love Stoicism, by the way, you guys know this. I was reading Ryan Holiday's book, right, Obstacles the Way. And though everything that he states is true, there is still a residue of Ryan in that book that I'm getting. Do you get what I'm saying? Which means that it's not Epictetus writing it, it's not Seneca writing it. It's through this other third person who's vicariously gotten the secondhand information. And there's lots of pieces of Ryan in there. Ryan Holiday, right? And no hate to Ryan Holiday, whatever. It's like he did a lot of great work and he compiled this book and he did the research and all this stuff. But it's not the same as reading the works of Seneca or Epictetus or Marcus Aurelius, in a sense. You guys get what I'm saying? So I want you to understand that when you are consuming information from somebody, in order for you to get into a flow state with that information, it's got to be transformed, embodied in your own way and through your own words. And is that someone that you truly respect, that information that it's coming from? Is that a person who you value? Is that a person that you admire? Is that a person that you'd hang out around in a cafe somewhere? You get what I'm saying? Like, okay, you could read a Tony Robbins book, but would you hang out with him in Barnes & Nobles, just chilling? If you would, that's great, right? You got the same vibe. But if you're kind of like, I don't know, man, he's kind of intense and blah, blah. No, why are you reading that person? They're too intense for you, okay? Now, I'm not saying any hate to any self-help authors or artists or, coaches out there, because, hey, to each their own. Do what you want. But what I have noticed is this kind of self-help junkie syndrome, which comes from, oh, I haven't even read this book, but I'm going to buy this other one. I've noticed that in myself multiple times, and it's not fun. It's definitely not ideal to be able to do that. But when you can catch yourself in that moment, what you can do is you can make that shift. That awareness really takes a hold of you, and you ultimately recognize, like, man, I can actually do something with this information. Like, try and practice this activity, okay? go to a book that you have already, that maybe you haven't revisited, and just go to a random page, okay? Think and Grow Rich, go to a random page, order some other great books. Psycho-Cybernetics, go to a random page. Master Key System, go to a random page, okay? All these books, just go to a random page and pull out one tidbit of information. Okay, one golden nugget, one truth about this universe, one epiphany, one aha moment, one gamma wave spike. And with that golden nugget, I want you to utilize it in some way. And what this is doing is you're breaking out of the addiction of self-help, okay? Because it is an addiction. Let's be honest. If you are a self-help junkie, you're consuming like a lot of stuff, okay? A lot of stuff. So if you can limit yourself 1 month, only 5 books, okay? Creating boundaries for yourself, because no one else is going to make boundaries for you unless you hire a mentor or a coach or something like that, where they can actually sit with you and, generate those boundaries with you. That's a different story. But nobody's actually going to be like, hey, don't read that 15th novel, that's bad for you, right? No, nobody thinks that, or nobody actually... Everybody allows that because they think, oh, reading is healthy. Most people are watching movies nowadays anyway, so we might as well let them read the 19th book, okay? And if reading is what makes you happy, that's fine. I'm not saying to limit out the best choices, but just consider the fact who you're reading, what you're reading, because right now there's an information war going on right now, okay? The stuff that we read on the internet can be true or can be completely jargon made up, false, fake news, okay? Now, I know you've probably heard this term a lot, but it's really true, okay? We don't know what to hear, what to believe. And so, at this time, it's important to create a solid foundation of values. And starting from there, to be able to maintain that and grow from that space. Because if we can maintain that, we become the creators of our actual world. If we can access the flow state on command, we can actually become the masters of our destiny. So with that, I leave you. Just ponder this idea a little bit about self-help, because all help is self-help in a way. If you can understand that concept, you can understand any concept. Okay? Because once you learn how to learn, learning doesn't become a burden anymore. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary, guys. Peace and love.